Hey everyone, finished watching the last episode of Mystic Force, Mystic Fate Part 2. Nick and the Rangers fight Black Lance and find the strength to finally defeat him. The Master appears and drops the apparently lifeless bodies of Daggeron and Lienbo in front of the Rangers. He drags them into his dimension and tells them their world will look like this when he takes over. The Rangers fight back, but the Master can just eat their magic. They can't find a way to beat him. They take cover. Nick has lost hope, but Madison inspires him to continue. Nick manages to wound the Master, and with the help of his team, they weaken him and return to their world. Snow Prince and Claire appear to help. Mystic Mother survived and gave her power to Claire, making her a full sorceress. Udana is alive as well. Itasis and Necroli are with her. They explain that Necroli revived Itasis, and together they defeated Sculpin. Itasis blasts at the Master, and he retreats. Lily shows up and asks her mother to revive Daggeron and Lienbo. It works, and Genji is revived as well. Necroli collapses and turns human. Why? How? Doesn't matter. Xander thinks she's hot. Suddenly, the Master bursts up out of the ground. He's grown giant. The Rangers have no magic left, but the Mystic Mother appears and tells them that they're never without magic. They just have to know where to find it. Toby and the people of Briarwood arrive. He gathered them to help. From the forest, Phineas leads a group of magic folk. They've decided to unite against the Master. Their combined magic restores the Rangers' powers, and they use it to overwhelm the Master and destroy him for good. Later, everyone goes their separate ways. Itasis goes with Daggeron and asks him to teach her about courage. Nick works on his motorcycle. He's going back to see his adopted parents. Madison confesses to him that she likes him and wants Nick to return for her. He gives her his baby blanket to hold on to in the meantime. At the Rockporium, the magic folk and the people of Briarwood have become friends. Chip tells a group about his adventures. Toby goes on a date with Necroli, and Phineas got his job back. Xander has become the store manager. Matumbo is back to life, and Vita teaches him how to be a DJ. Udana and Lienbo join Nick on his trip. In Root Core, Claire opens up the Xenotome. It's on its last page, and it only reads, "The End." After last episode was overly bleak and a bit depressing, this episode is the opposite, overly happy and positive and optimistic. The Rangers suddenly find the strength to defeat Black Lance, which is kinda weird after how strong he was before. It feels like someone went into the settings and changed the difficulty to easy. Sculpin is taken out relatively easy as well by Itasis. Kind of an anticlimactic end for the remaining 10 terrors. The defeat of the Master was pretty good though, with the whole population of Briarwood uniting and sharing their magic. The one thing that would make this stronger is if this element of fear and prejudice were more visible in more of the show. At the beginning, the forest and town people would fear each other and then gradually learn to coexist. This moment here would be the cap to all that. Snow Prince and Mystic Mother make another appearance. I far prefer Mystic Mother here over last episode, though her voice and lip sync are still pretty awful. Everyone gets a moment or two to shine here. Genji reveals his middle name is Marcus. So what does that make Genji? Is that his first or last name? Nick and Madison's little conversation is meant to call back to the beginning of the show, but it's just awkward. Madison's crush on him seemed to disappear from then until now. What's even the point? It's not like the show can explore their relationship in the future. They should really know by now Disney didn't like or want team-ups or old characters returning. Could they just not think of anything else for her to do? Personally, I think they should have focused more on Madison's video recording. Show her making a video record of their adventures. Then again, maybe she doesn't have to, as Tommy or Haley will magically get the footage for their own video history that they'll eventually hand over to Grid Battle Force. Necroli is human now, no explanation. My theory is that she used her life force to revive everyone, and that redeemed her and reversed her curse. Maybe the Tribunal of Magic should have popped back in here to explain or something. Actually, I think the Tribunal would have been a better choice of character to use these past episodes rather than Mystic Mother. Necroli mentions that vampires don't sweat, they glow. Is this a Twilight reference? The first book would have been out when Mystic Force was in development, so possibly. One of the oddest things to see here is Matumbo alive again. I guess Necroli's reviving powers were stronger than they appeared. Him and Vita dancing is my favorite part, so I'll let it slide without diving too deep into explanation. Overall, this is a decent finale. Considering how rushed and messy a lot of Mystic Force felt, I think this is about the best a finale could be. I would have liked to see Phineas in a bigger role, though. It's so unfortunate that Disney was opposed to connective continuity or recurring characters between seasons. I think Phineas could have easily made more appearances in the future. Mystic Force is over, and sadly, it doesn't get much love. Xander makes an appearance in the 15th anniversary two-parter Once a Ranger. There's a teensy reference to Toby and Fireheart in the next season. The Boom Comics did a story about Udana. Rita's mother, as depicted in the comics, takes influence from Mystic Mother's design. And that's about it for references and callbacks. Not a whole lot of legacy, and it's unfortunate. Mystic Force is actually a fairly well-known season outside the fandom. I think exposure had a lot to do with it. SPD was enormously popular, so a big audience had built up. Disney was still promoting the show, and Jetix was a popular channel block. On the Shout Factory DVDs, Mystic Force unfortunately got shafted along with Operation Overdrive when it came to bonus features. Nearly every season has some representation from various actors and crew, but Mystic Force and Overdrive are skipped. Even the promos for each season are just taken from the previous DVDs, and nothing else was considered in the least. It's disappointing how Mystic Force has been treated. It was the shortest season at the time, and practically forgotten a year later. I enjoyed Mystic Force, not my favorite season, not even close, but despite its flaws, I feel it was a good step in the right direction for Power Rangers. Ninja Storm didn't hold up the way I hoped. Dino Thunder was cemented as one of my least favorite seasons, and SPD had a lot of really good ideas that unfortunately never came together by the end. Mystic Force was original and creative, and while it ended a bit like SPD with a lot left unexplained, I appreciate the effort. Next up is Operation Overdrive, a divisive season a lot of fans don't care for. I've never held the same disdain, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again. Before that, though, there's another thing to look at, something most fans don't even know existed. The true first episode of Operation Overdrive, a behind-the-scenes special. That's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.
Next Saturday, get ready to rock with Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. Join the newest team of Rangers as they search the world for the missing jewels of an ancient crown and keep them out of the hands of evil. Power Rangers Operation Overdrive premiering next Saturday on ABC Kids.